Welcome to my video of the third Japanese turn of Axis and Allies Revised, my solo playthrough. What happened is they attacked Eastern China. It's got a different name, but I can't read it now. So the easternmost area of China. It's actually 5 infantry there. There's a green chip beneath them. Just to remind any viewers, these chips and units are actually from Axis and Allies 1942 second edition, but I'm using them here in Revised as well. I like the chips because they're a bit smaller, so it's easier to fit the units into the territories, for instance, and I have easier access to them. I'll spare you all the details, but those are the units I'm using. So anyway, the Japanese conquered this territory. They defeated the 2 Russian infantry that were there. Some aircraft they used in the attack. 2 of them landed in Manchuria. Another one landed in this sea zone, and the fleet that used to be in Sea Zone 36 moved there and it landed on there, and the other fighter was built there because obviously the US could attack these ships, and they actually have a fairly chance of inflicting some damage there anyway. And of course the transport is vulnerable too. I believe the transport carried some infantry from French Indochina to Manchuria. I could have also instead transported two units from mainland Japan, but just in case the Americans do try to land in Japan and it's completely undefended, they might actually land there successfully, which they still might if they win the sea battle. Odds of that are probably not very high because the Japanese actually have a stronger force, but well, you never know. You never know what the dice may do. The Japanese built 2 tanks and an infantry here, and I believe it's Kwantung, yes. And they built 3 infantry here. So they still have 32 IPC, but of course they're in a lot of trouble because they're being pressured on all sides. In the north by the Russians, in the west by the Americans, or well, they're probably actually Chinese, but in this game you don't have that distinction. And in the south as well, the British have been reinforcing Australia, so the Australians on their next turn could attack one of these territories. Can actually land here. It's too far away, I believe, for this transport, but they could attack that one with some fighter support. And India is actually also a lot stronger than the Japanese are here. They have roughly the same infantry, but the British have more tank and air support. And I placed the 2 air units that were there originally. I placed them in Manchuria. So let's see if the Russians are actually going to attack it. At the very least, they'll force the Japanese to spread out in all directions because they're probably going to get hit from many directions. So that should really hurt them. So that's what happened on the Japanese turn. Next up, the Americans, and that will conclude the 3rd turn of this game. Thank you for watching.